Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the BMW M4 GT3, this time at Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona for yet another track guide. If you're new to my channel, what we do is a hot lap followed by a breakdown lap, and then we're back in the cockpit one final time, the driving line on. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and obviously we are using the fixed setup, although we are only on about 20 litres of fuel. Here we are smashing it down the main straight, looking for the 100-metre board on the left-hand side. We're going to brake just before it. And we're going to brake up to about 75%, drop it down to third gear, back on the gas, little lift, back on the gas once again. We're going to try and get over to the left-hand side before then swinging back over lightly on the brake pedal, back on the gas in third gear. Exit nice and wide. We're looking for the 50 board, or midway between the 100 and the 50. And we're going to brake up to about 65%. Leave it in third gear, long trail off, back on the gas, try and hug it over to the right hand side. And now we're going to brake up to about 80%, drop it down to first gear, get the car turned in really early on the power. Although you do have to be quite patient towards the end. As we get to this curbing on the left, we brake quite sharply, back on the gas in third gear. We don't drop it down to second in the BMW the way it's geared. On the left hand side, end of the curbing, little dab on the brakes, leave it in fourth gear, cut the corner, exit nice and wide, back over to the right hand side. We're going to be braking the hardest now just before the 100 board, and we're going to brake up to roughly 90-95%, drop it down to first, get the car turned in once again. Exit nice and wide, flat out through here, now a little dab on the brakes, leave it in third gear, back on the gas once more. And at the end of the curbing, little dab on the brakes, leave it in second gear, back over to the right side as we go under the shadow, brake again, down to first, on the gas, little lift, back on the gas once more, and now we're flat all the way through to the end of the layout, the circuit. And over and across we go in a 1:44.4. We've got the breakdown lap coming up next. Right, let's do this breakdown lap. So, first of all, we're looking for the 100 board on the left-hand side. We're going to go over to the left-hand side, and we're going to start braking just before we get up to it. We'll brake briefly up to about 75%, try and stay out that ABS, trail it off, down to third gear, picking up the gas on the apex. Now we're going to do a lift and get back across, making sure we're getting plenty of curve on the left-hand side. Go over to the left, stay in third, and now as soon as we start seeing this sort of white marshal's hook come into view, that's when we lightly dab the brakes and then straight back on the gas in third gear, getting up to full power as soon as possible. Now we're looking for this 50 board on the left-hand side. You can just see it on the left-hand side of the screen there. There's a white line drawn all the way across to the edge of the track. Now, just before we get there, we're braking up to about 65%, trailing it off, again, leaving it in third gear, picking up on the gas, making sure you're clipping that inside corner. Try and stay over to the right-hand side, and what we're looking for is this lamp stand thing on the right. As we get there, we brake up to about 80%, wipe all that speed off, down to first gear, nice and early, getting on the gas, exit nice and wide, and now we're going to go flat until we get to the start of this curbing on the right-hand side. That's when we're braking up to about 75-80%, wipe the speed off, down to third, picking back up on the gas as we hit the curbing. Again, we're looking for the outside curbing here on the left-hand side. As we get there, little dab on the brakes, only up to about 30%. Leave it in fourth gear, and then back on the gas, cutting some of that inside corner as we go. Now we're going to be braking just before the 100 board on the right-hand side. And again, we brake quite hard up to about 95%, wipe that speed off all the way down to first gear, get it turned in, and then get back on the gas. We're going to go flat through the first apex, and now we're going to start braking just before we get to the second one. Only up to about 35%, long trail off, drop it down to second, get on the gas. And now we're going to start braking here, about 2 or 3 car lengths before the end of the rumble strip on the left. Down to second gear, back on the gas, back over to the left-hand side, and then we're braking again just as we go under that little sign bridge thing that we went under. Drop it down to first gear, on the gas, little lift, back on the gas again, and then flat to the end. We've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on without me talking. Enjoy.